Welcome to Gold Craft. Welcome to Gold Craft.
I had a I had an idea, but I'm gonna look stupid. Never mind. I'm not gonna do it. Oh, hi there. All right, I'll be back. Introduce the show, goddammit. I could probably hide it. Oh, gonna be doing put some air holes in it. Yeah, I don't know. Up on that. Yep. I don't think it's a topic we've touched on. Well, I mean, there's some games that we did touch on that just um deal with stealth, but this is the true stealth video game episode. Uh, yeah, I know, it's confusing the shit out of me. You turned that on. But yeah, that's our topic. It's a really good one. I'm excited for this one. And if you guys listened in the past, you guys know I'm a big fan of Splinter Cell, which I'm gonna talk about one of them, not all of them. But see how this goes. Yeah, or bird. Yeah, I'm in NorCal. That's, yeah, I call it the Bay. The Yes, I got it. I got it. Hey, what do you say? I got a very interesting beer. Up, up, down, down, Pilsner. Uh, yeah, it's they have a tasting room in Bakersfield. What it says right here. Dionysus. Isn't that a Greek god or some shit? Oh, the drunk guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could tell. You probably look if anything. He's like, "This with the long hair, what do you call little Caesar's head not headset, but the little headdress." He's ew, why are you looking at his nipples, man? Bro, just focus on nipples. You're just like, "Dude, shut up." Yes. Take off. Stop. Yeah, if I already did, I'm pouring. Oh my god, it's red. It's like purplish. Sorry, I don't what the hell's going on, but yeah, here it is. Yeah, that's just like see-through. That's just see-through. Not. He looks like Jew. I got this. It's just I don't have it any I don't have it anymore. I'm out of space. Light. I don't know. Cold. Now it's a little too cold. Uh, sorry, but really good. This is actually pretty light as I expected. This is a Pilsner. It's a 5, just a 5 percenter, and it's like very crisp, very light. Uh, it's not too much of a scent to it. I mean, when it comes to like Pilsners, there's a certain it's a certain smell that they have. And I'm getting like very, very mild smelling note out of it. Yeah, doesn't feel so alcoholy. Not very. Little malty-ish, a little bit, not a lot, not a whole lot. No, no. It tastes clean. It tastes like someone did what they were doing. They know what they were doing. Yeah, yeah. This is exactly what I need. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I was gonna drink today, but mm, mm. The hell? So, right, the black cherry without the sweetness? I don't know, it's hard to imagine without. Okay. Just stop. Wait, that's what the hell? Mm, I don't know about that. I don't think I would've drink actually, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Eh, okay, I can imagine that, yeah. Okay, that's a way better description. Like, yeah. Moving sneakily into the mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty sure. So when it comes to stealth games, what qualifies as a stealth game, you as a player have to sneak around or have the option to sneak around, an environment and whatnot. Whatever your role is, whether you're a spy or, um, that's all I can think of is a spy. But this right. S Well, when it comes to, like, those other games, stealth is an option, but it's not, like, true stealth. What we're saying here is just the games are, like, classified as, like, true stealth, like, the best option to get around is to sneak around or, stay as low profile low profile as you can. But, once in a while, you do get those action sequences, but the main goal is to, like, do it discreetly as much as possible, eh, which is mostly like spy games, but yeah, sure. Or, spec right. Yeah, I think yeah. I think it's like the, 3D environment that just makes it more hostile because it's the usage of, like, having to hide behind a wall, and then you could, like, sort of, like, look down the corridor in that 3D dimension, and just like, "Oh, shit, they're coming." And it's just more realism to, like, the physics of it all, but, yeah, I think that's the main one of the main things about, like, stealth is, the physics. Um, yeah, sure. Uh, I guess for my first game, I'm just gonna start with the obvious, and that is part of the Splinter Cell, but it's not this game specifically. Um, what I want to talk about is actually the preferred one, the best in the series, the one that just like got it, and then just everything after that was just kind of like falling out of place, whether it's like story or just like mechanics of it. But they pretty much had this one as like the pedestal of this is what a stealth game is, and this is what a Splinter Cell game is, which I'm gonna talk about Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. And it's the third one in the game. It came out in 2005. I was like 15 when it came out. It was all the platforms, but I did have it on the GameCube, and it was weird because I had like 2 discs, you know? I don't know if,
Oh,
like, the other ones had, like, 2 discs, but they were split into 2 because, I guess there was just a lot of data for the GameCube 'cause it was a fucking small disc, and there was, like, 9 missions in total, and, there was a uh, it was weird because I played the PC version of it, and it's not split in 2, obviously, but there's a thing that says "to be continued," and it just looks weird if I didn't have the context of knowing that these 2 sets of, like, these sets of missions are split into 2 because the 2 discs that they were needing. Yeah, so it just, like, continue on with that, and it's just like, "Oh, okay." But, this one introduced more of, like, the spectrum of, like, light and darkness. Of course, it brought in, like, more, HDR lighting into it, and they also use, like, ragdoll mechanics into the game. So, suppose you shoot a guy, he falls down like a ragdoll, which was fun because, you know, if you shoot him off a cliff and then you look down, he's basically falling like supposed to just, like, you shoot him and then he just stands still, and then he just, like this is like a weird wonky type of thing, which is, how in the first game, like, if you just shoot someone and they just follow the window, it just, like, kinda awkwardly just goes down like, "Okay." Yeah, but the ragdoll thing, that was the one that impressed me the most as soon as I, like, played it the first time. Because the first mission, you're literally, like, in Peru, and you're going through, like, this lighthouse, type of area, and there's, like, different caverns and, you know, there you could be off the cliff and stuff, so, you know, down the corner, I see a guy, and I just shoot him, and then he literally disappears because there's literally a cliff right behind him. So, well, as I was, mentioning before, physics is a strong thing in stealth games because it's just like, you know, everything's just, materialized, everything just, like, matters because if you see one thing, if they spot something, they're gonna notice that shit. Light busted, they're gonna notice that. A body right there, they're gonna notice that, right? So everything has a reaction to it. Well, yeah, and then yeah, for the most part, yes. Um, but there's some parts where yeah, you can't really stick around and you have to, like, actually fight, which, I'll get into that. But, the HDR lighting, that's a big improvement because you could really see, like, where places are really dark and where places aren't so, and this is the one where it introduces the spectrum of, like, the lighting because there's a scale where it says, like, "Oh, like, this is ultra dark and this is ultra light." You're completely exposed. So say, like, you're in the middle and you're just, like, standing or crouching down right there. Someone could actually, like, literally see you, and you bring their attention, they're like, "Oh, what is that?" and then you go into the dark, and of course, like do your thing, and you fucking move. That's one of the things about this game too is his movement. Because you get to play Sam Fisher, and he's like a experienced operative that is brought into like a secret segment of like the NSA, and nobody knows about him, and he sticks to the shadow. And with this game, his movement is pretty good. Like it's more realistic and stuff. And we get near an enemy, like now you have a knife when you didn't before, and the closer you move, he does like this snake move or like this movement, like until he like gets close, and then for that, and it just like yeah. So every time you move closer into like an enemy, his basically his body movement changes as he's getting close. So it's like almost like getting ready for the kill. Like you see his arms very much tense up, and the slowly you move, he's progressing his movement, and it's just like a very unique movement that he's doing until like he is getting ready to like go for the kill or grab him, whatever you choose. Like you could choose like just stab him from the back or just like grab him. And if you come from the sides, you kind of do the same movement too. And uh, before you could even spot him, like he just does like you press like I forgot what the button was, and you just slit their throat like like real quick and stuff. Yeah, it it's a lot of blood, a lot of sneaking around. So you just like come here, bitch. And I yeah, and I like to have fun with that too. Um, but this game, it's truly stealth, but you also have the options to do things loudly, which if you're the gutsy one, you'll do that. It's uh, basically you have enemies coming at you depending on the area and stuff. And they um, in this installment, they do have like a attachment to the gun that you always had in the previous two games that you have. So you have like a sniper attachment, which is, of course is going to be kind of loud, and then you have your shotgun when you're ready to like go and you're about to like get into like a real fight, or you just want to have fun and just be loud. Like you could pretty much like have that and it just like and then it is what it is. And you also have sniper if you're like looking to like kill someone from the distance. Yeah, and that's not like, and you don't really have like that much of a distance on things. Like everything's pretty much close because you're going moving from area to area. But I guess there's some areas where it's like, he's across the balcony or whatever. I'll just get him right there at that distance. But it's like very rare, really. This game is just like very close proximity from places to places. Everything you do really doesn't matter. If you get an alarm or the number of alarms that you get, the more the enemies can be alert or they start to like add more uh not NPCs, but uh I forgot what it did, but uh it's it's kind of. And there's some particular like levels where if you raise an alarm high enough, there's gonna be soldiers like in offices or like somewhere where they would be like on alert as opposed to like patrolling around. So everyone's pretty much on edge, and it kind of make things easier because now they're staying in like one place. You know what I mean? So you have the option to like do that, but it's depends on the place and whatnot. But yeah, it's like it's very reactional to your actions. Like this environment just like changes in a quick second. Everything you do is just it really does matter. But sometimes it's to your benefit, sometimes it's to like your demise. Whatnot. All right. Yeah, that's always fun. Mhm. Imagine, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it could be during the day, but it's just like, oh, it's somewhere dark and whatnot. There's rarely any ones that are, like, during the day. I think I don't know. The next one, they do it during the day, but it's in the snow, and then you have, like, a white suit, so it's like they're camouflaging, but I guess that doesn't really count. With this one, it's like it's most of the time it's, like, dark or it's, like, dusk. Either way, because there's some parts where, you're at a bay and it's, like, dusk and the sun's barely setting down, and when you're out in the sun, that's where everyone can see you, so you have to go back into, like, the facilities to, like, keep yourself in the dark and stuff. But, they change it up here and there as much as they can. But, I mean, that's the thing about, like, these games, like, they're changing it up. They're making things way more interesting, you know? Because the first game, you're going through facilities, government, or, a police or stuff. They have 5 per console. No, wait, it's 6. Yeah, so there's 6 in consoles, like 3D, and then the other ones are like, they're either Game Boy Advance or something. They're gonna remake the first one, from scratch. So everything's gonna be like a new engine, but they're gonna use the same environment, the same story and stuff, not in VR. I don't know, that'll be kinda hard, but, it's weird. Yeah. Uh, yeah, the mobility of that one was more like, a shoot 'em up. And it's sort of like a God damn it, what was that arcade game that I played? Um, it's escaping me right now, but you have the option to cover and then, shoot and cover. I felt like that was more into that realm as opposed to stealth. Um, and we got sidetracked. But this is yeah. What were you gonna say? It, if anything, it redefined the stealth game because before it was like, Metal Gear Solid, but this one, literally, like, in the first game, it literally says, like, "Stealth action redefined" on the cover of that. So and, that's true. Like, they coulda just put that and then it's like, "Oh, this game kinda sucks." But they knew what they were selling and they knew what that was, and, the games just literally got better as for this example, like, Chaos Theory was just it had better story, it had, like, technology. Actually, technology was a big part of this game because it brought things that kinda, like, foreshadow what we have now, and even, like, having depict, like, a real war that actually went on before, uh after this game was released, and, I mean, it's just, like, very realistic and just very futuristic the way that they do things. Because in this game, they did mention. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I would say it's like, yeah, it's in the same universe, I guess, now that we're talking about that, and, what was I gonna say? In this game, they actually mentioned Wi-Fi before Wi-Fi even became a thing, because it started in 2005, so Wi-Fi was barely being a thing, and there's a whole commentary where you have to connect to something, and then, one of your agents or one of the people behind it, like, she's a tech nerd and stuff, and she's saying like, "Oh, this is a new thing, Wi-Fi." Like, "What? Is it like hi-fi?" Like, "Oh, wow, you really are an old man." They make a whole fucking joke out of it. But she was explaining that everything was, like, wireless, and she was able to, like, connect whatever Sam had on him through her, uh, for, him being in the room, he was able to use, like, a Wi-Fi connection. I not explaining it right or the situation, but I do remember that doc. Yeah. She wasn't introducing it, but she discovered Wi-Fi in whatever building you were at, and she was explaining it to him, Wi-Fi thing, you know? Yeah, or, get certain information back and forth, and yeah, this is 2005, so it's just like and yeah, yeah, or, a couple years ahead of its time, because in the story, it actually takes place in 2007 as opposed to 2005, so it was time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Another thing they actually predated was, drones. In the game, they call it UAV, um yeah, they call it UAV, like, forgot what it stands for, we'll look it up, but basically, they predicted, like, drones and stuff, and this drones I don't know about Pigeon. Yeah, well, yeah, unmanned aerial vehicle, okay, commonly known as drone, and that's what they call it in the game, yeah. So they yeah, and it's weird because, like, what in different obviously, like, every mission's, like, different, and they go to, like, different cities and different countries, but the main conflict was, like, the North Korea and South Korea conflict, which at the time, it didn't happen, but it happened a couple years afterwards, and in fact, they even, like, banned the game because they didn't wanna, like, encourage or support, like, those ideas to support war between the 2, countries and stuff. And, considering that the Koreans are pretty technological, that's where you actually see the UAVs or, the drones that go around and it's just like, "Oh, shit. Here we go. Just give me a minute." No, 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 it just went off. Yeah, I didn't thought it was gonna go off. It usually goes off, like, if I have, like, the OBS on or something. It's too much. I think it's detecting something. I don't know. I'll figure that shit out. But, yeah, they, pretty much predated a lot of things that happened in that. And as Sam, like, he's like guy that's, like, old school, he's like the op that, fought in the, uh, the yeah, he was I think it was part of Desert Storm and whatnot, so he's, like, in the '80s and '90s, era of his peak, but him having to come back with all this new technology explained to him, he just feels a little outdated, but he manages, he gets adjusted, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, he have, like, one of his nurses, like, t guiding him through all this shit and explaining all this shit to him. So it's, like, sort of a refreshment of going into this world that, he's existed in this world, but there's all this new shit coming out. And I think that's, like, the biggest theme of this game, with all this technology having to, you know, change, um, the whole mindset of, like, warfare and stuff. Because 'Cause you're literally stopping, like, World War III from happening, and literally, you're not stopping a missile, you're stopping, like, an algorithm that's, designed to, like, shoot multiple missiles and whatnot, and if it goes into the wrong hands, you know, that's just gonna start a war, and he's basically starting a war from countries. Yeah, now it's like, "Oh, this is the future now," you know? Yeah, and mind you, this is 2023, and then, this is the game that happened, like, in 2005, almost 15 years, well, 20 years, actually, and, you're getting all this shit like, "Oh, Wi-Fi." We already have Wi-Fi. Oh, drones. We already have drones. Yeah, and then, algorithms and all that, that's a thing that's TikTok right there, as opposed to, like, a weapon used as a weapon and stuff. Like, yeah, it it is a weapon. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a fun game. I think I should recommend this to anyone who likes stealth games 'cause, if you ask any, like, fan of Splinter Cell, they just say Gas series is, like, the best one. That's, like, right there. Like, that's, like, okay, I'm not gonna say that, but it's definitely top tier when it comes to it. And mine is gonna look it up. See, I'm right, and it's cool too. Um, I like the freaking battles that you get where you don't have the option to be stealthy. I mean, you could, like, sneak a kill in there too, but you get into, like, a couple standoffs. Like, my favorite one was, like, the bathroom standoff, and you just have to figure out how to, like, get through all these guys, like, go through, like, through the corridors and try to, like, snipe them. If you can at a distance, which is kinda ridiculous, or just use, like, flash grenades or grenades in general and just, like, trying to get yourself through. Yeah. Honestly, I try to, like, flash or put a smoke and then, like, run up to him and just, like, fucking stab him. Shit. But it's pretty freaking hard. But, I mean, it is what it is because you get all these gadgets, as a spy, and it's up to you how you use them, you know? It's, it's not the tools, it's the spy itself, or its operative itself, you know? It's entirely up to you, and that's the thing. You could play it as many times as you want, as many techniques as you can, whether you wanna go, like, assault or, stealth, or just, a little bit of both and stuff, but it's yeah, it's crazy. Um, yeah, that's just fucking crazy. Oh, and the Wi-Fi. Now I remember how that's used. You could basically just, like, use your little, device, and as opposed to going on the computer and hacking it, you could do it from a distance and then hack from there. Or from your, like, whatever that little device was. I don't know, I think they predicted that one too. Like, yeah, that's true. I mean, it's video games and TV shows and movies, they it's like yeah. You're gonna know about all this shit that they did. But yeah. So I thought it's a new thing, man. It's a new thing and it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, 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 basically. It's I think that's what this game is about, you know? It's you have all these tools, but there's new ones and He's gonna yeah, how are you gonna use it? And they're introducing you to, like, new things into it, and that's what a good sequel does. It introduces new things to that world that already exists, and these new tools could exist in this world as well, so it's like, eh, it makes sense, and I like it, and it's a great one, so, yeah, my final word is, this game pushed the limit on things with stealth, and this is actually one that's, like, really perfected the stealth game. The first one redefined it, this one sort of perfected it even more. So, I would recommend it if you're a big Tom Clancy, fan. If you play Rainbow Six, play this one. Um, it's has an interesting story. If you follow up with, like, the first 2, it just, like, kinda makes sense, and everything about this game is just, like, you know, it it leveled up, like, everything. Uh, Technical and it made the 3D world much more, like, more defined. They also introduced, like, parallax, mapping, believe that's what it was called, and that's basically mapping, like, the structures of, like, a building or, like, a certain, like, object and whatnot to make it more, like, form more realistic and stuff, and, of course, I already said it improved the HDR lighting and also fuck, it just made everything much better, you know? 'Cause there you have the option to do things that you it's a side option, but you have your main object, but if you do the side object, it feels good. But it also brings, like, a little bit more lore into, like, the world of, like, Splinter Cell and all that. So, um, go ahead and play this game, save the world. It's all good. Sam Fisher, the guy who plays him, Michael Ironside, he's a real actor. He was in Top Gun, he was, Starship Troopers, X-Men First Class, kinda looks like, um, Jack Nicholson a little bit, but, this guy, he just has the voice and stuff, like, I really like this character. I like his dark side, um, humor. Sometimes when I think there was one level, I don't know if it was this one, but no, it was in the first one where the guys who started talking about, like, he was he was spying on someone, and then you could overhear what they were saying. And then after he just made a comment, he's all like, "I hate it when the bad guys make blood jokes." And he's just like unnerving on that. My favorite one is, I think his boss was telling him, "You're gonna be." He was like giving him a big compliment and stuff. He was like, "You're gonna be the unknown hero of this, and you deserve all the honor, and this and that." And then he says, "If I had enough blood, I'm sure I'll be blushing." He just makes like really dark jokes like that, and it's just like. But, like, that is good fucking writing right there. 'Cause one of the things I forget about this game is, like, aside from, like, the other ones, this was, like has, like, really good jokes, and, they know when to, like, throw in those jokes, and this is great. This is as good as it gets, so, that's it. That's it. Yeah, dude. Mhm. That sounded okay. Oh god. Yeah. That's how I get honestly, I get that effect when I'm eating, like, pineapple or something that's yeah, right, 'cause all the cocksucking. You can find us at Golden Craft Cast at IG, Golden Craft Run at gmail.com if you wanna, like, reach us out, email or whatnot. But honestly, you can listen to us at any podcast platform, whatever it's Spotify, um, Pocket Cast, Apple Music Podcast, or whatever the fuck it's called. And, just give us a comment, give us a 5-star rating. We really need it. If you like what you're listening to and if you relate, like, oh yeah, I totally agree on this. I remember this. I remember that. I could or disagree. If you disagree, just we could talk about it privately, or we'll go put you on the guest spot and just we could argue all day. But that's the art of conversations. This is what podcasts are for. So yeah, you can basically find us on any platform wherever you listen to podcasts or Golden Craftcast. Mhm. Nice. Where are the notes for the coast? While Manny's drinking, here's another little trivia. So there's this face in Chaos Theory, it's called Red Ignition, and that's part of the group ISDF, and in Japanese that literally means red herring. Yep, and it is a red it tastes like yeah, yeah, mm, Yeah.
Like, double on
Yeah. If you could do pieces from a James Bond movie? I mean, game? Oh, shit. Oh, I was looking at that. Alright. Here we go. I can't hear shit. I hope you guys can hear it. Wish I could hear it. Go. I don't think that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. All I remember from this game was the car chases. That shit was actually pretty good. I liked it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. There's a different variation. Yeah. Yeah. I think the challenge is always important in games. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm actually looking at, not the gameplay that you're showing, the audience, but a different one, and it looks pretty smooth. It looked like it aged well, in some sense, and they're actually using, Pierce Brosnan or whatever his name his likeliness, 'cause I think the last movie that he did was, Die Another Day, or no, it wasn't Die Another Day, but it came out in 2002. So this game came out, like, I think that same year, and I think this, movie ages better than the actual movie, but this is actually yeah, this is cool. Oh, and it had its 20th anniversary last November. Yeah. No, not the movie, the game. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, shit. Crazy. You have Yeah, you do have the options to use the silencer just like, yeah, yeah, it's definitely cool. Like, I think it's just I feel like the marketing for this game is just like, oh, it's like any other movie, but it's just the game, and the game has this game in particular has its own, like, story going on. That's very much in the spirit of I'm I wasn't expecting this, but I'm looking behind the scenes, making of this game, and they're actually using motion capture. Crazy.
This is Wix.
I mean, it's not as smoothly as it is now, but it yeah, they improve the graphics and much more there, and it's just much more slicker from what I'm getting the vibe of. Rogue Agent. Oh shit. You were talking about Rogue Agent? I was I was looking at Nightfire for some reason. Yeah, that's the one I played. It's uh, I'll look it up. Do with an eye, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be sold by that one, but yeah. Final word on yeah, yeah, so alright. Yeah. How's your beer? That's bad. Oh, no, I got you. I hope the audience got you. I think that's the alcohol itself, bro. Alright, my next one, another big franchise, Manny mentioned it. This is the only game in the franchise I ever played, so sorry, people, I know you're gonna hate on me, and it's not the best one, but it is pretty interesting with the mechanics of what it did. I'm talking about the pros on this. Um, it is definitely Metal Gear Solid, but it's the last, it wouldn't be the last one. There was one that it was more hated than this one. But what I'm talking about is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, that came out in the PS4. Um, I think this is one of the earlier ones that, um, yeah, one of the earlier PS4 games that came out. And this game really showed the graphics or the capacity of what the PS4 can do. And I was really impressed by the way, like, the desert look, like, the terrains, like, the way that it was hitting, like, the canyons, it just, like, looks so realistic, and I was just, like, so impressed by that and stuff. Everything else was good to look at, but it wasn't as realistic as, like, oh, the landscape that this game was able to show. Because this time around, it's more like open world, and you could pretty much land in, like, different areas of, like, this landscape. I believe it's, like, the Sahara or somewhere, like, in Africa and stuff, uh, because you get to, like there you go. Way off, but I don't know, it's just no, actually, the way I honestly, why I said that is because, like, there was just a lot of, like, there's there's, like, tribes of black people in this game, and that's because you don't get a wolf. Wish I could see it. Yeah, if you stream us. I saying stream us. I'm streaming my own stream. It's in it's Inception. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember the wolf. I don't think I No, his name is Fox. No, wait, the company is Fox Company. Oh, that's right. Things are coming back. So you could basically use the wolf as a distraction, and then you must fuck actually, I think you could, but it's just yeah, but it's, like, limited, and if you get into trouble, you just, like, pretty much can use them and stuff. But, yeah, the landscape and everything is just, like, so great because you get to go into different villages, and you get to, like, either get blueprints, do a mission there, and pretty much recruit people. It is open world, and you get to different yeah, you get to different places, and there's always missions like, "Oh, where can you find this blueprint to make this, like, gun and whatnot?" And you have the option to, like, capture an enemy, and they basically become, like, your recruit. But there's, like, a whole moral compass system where if you kill en yeah, if you kill enough people, you basically become like a demon snake. That's what I like to call it. So basically, like, there's this, thing that comes out of your head. I don't know what it is, but the more people you kill, the more the horns come out. So you pretty much become like the punished snake in that sense. And literally, like, if you do it at the highest point, the horns will actually, like, be at its full length, but not only that, you also get bloodied up, and you can't clean that shit off, because if you do get blood in one of your missions and you go back to base, you're able to, like, wash that off, you know? The and the compass system is, like, up to you, really, um, because, because it really is up to the player, because that's one of the things that they do love to do, challenging players, is just like, "Oh, are you good enough, or are you bad?" And it's just like, "Oh, it's free will. I'm gonna blow this shit up." The only thing you can't do is kill kids. That's the only thing you can't do. Hope not either. I don't know a game that does that. Because in Skyrim, if you get a kid on the airports, fuck, I didn't even think about there was kids in that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. One of the most controversial things in video games is that whole fucking scene. Told you about that. But it's still oh, ooh. You know which one's gonna be the yeah, it's open world. The open world, it's pro, but it's also its own con as well, because it also becomes very redundant, like, very quickly, and you're just like, "Okay, I wanna get this, certain gun or this certain thing, and I have to go back to the same place where I got this." And you already know the area, but it's like, oh, you just continue to do the same thing, go to the same areas, and just, like, do what you can just to, like, get bigger, and it's just like, eh, you get too familiarized, 'cause the landscape is just like it's just what it is. It's not like a city where it's like, oh, you go down the street in this corner, and then, I know this little trick where I could, like, snipe from down here, and here it's just like, oh, well, all the high places, and you can see them from a distance and stuff. And, you get the same number of enemies, you get, the same patrol, and whatnot, and eventually you just like, "I just wanna get through this game." Just finish the story, you do that, and it's just like, yeah. But, I mean, if you have the guts to not the guts, but just, like, the tolerance, the time to do all that shit, like, all the praise to you. If you could do that shit, that's cool. I'm not gonna knock on you because people about yeah, yeah, we were going, yeah. But this is actually cool. It's the 5th game in the series, and, I what's his name? Uh, Kojima. Yeah, yeah, it's Kojima. Yeah, Hideo Kojima. He's the biggest name in the industry, and after, Golden yeah, Golden Gear, Metal Gear Solid, I'm, like, forgetting the name. He went on to do, like, Death Stranding with, like, Norman Reedus, and that's a game that's, like, everyone's just, crazy about, but also I could kinda see there's some redundancy because kinda did the same thing over and over again. But this game has some good voice talent. The guy that plays Snake is, Kiefer Sutherland, Mr. fucking 24 himself, and he really does, like, do a justice to, like, this character, and he's just like, "Oh my god, that's c" like, it justifies his voice, the voice coming out of that body, and it's super cool because this game also has a soundtrack, and it plays like a James Bond movie. Because every James Bond movie, as you know, like, they have, like, that song in the beginning and then towards the end, and this one kinda has, like yeah, but they have, like, actual sorry. They have actual, like, singers playing, like, the main theme of that specific movie, like, we had, what's the most famous one? We have Paul McCartney, playing, forgot the name of it, sorry. That super rock song that he has, the one that really goes hard. I'm forgetting the name of it. Yeah, it's that one. You also get, Adele. The last movie was with, Billie Eilish. I I didn't thought that was good at all. Not good. Yeah. Not that shit was good. Yeah. It's it doesn't have a climax, and that's the thing about James Bond games, it's like they all have climax, and they have, like, the highest pitches and stuff, and this game, the soundtrack for this game, the people who sang this, song, they do have a climax, and it goes, like, to an extreme and stuff. Or there's some that are just, like, very soft and just keeps it right there, but the main point of a James Bond song, what really is makes it, um, what it is just, like, you always have to have, like, the high pitches. They has to have, like, a strong fucking voice, and this one, if you listen to the soundtrack, is cool, and, yeah, and the one with the chill voice, that singer, she actually is in the game. They use her, body image, and she's the sniper, Quiet. Quiet is an interesting character because it's made by Japanese people, not to knock them, but, they do have, like, that industry of, like, very anime and very, like, pervy culture in that sense, and they figured out a way or a reason to make this character half naked and basically, like, Quiet Sniper, something happened to her where she got mutated, and the only way she could, like, actually breathe is to have less clothes and using, like, the same way, like, plants live, photosynthesis, basically using, like, their skin cells to, like, take in the sunlight so that way they could, like, live on and stuff, and this is how we get her half naked on this, and it's just, like, the most interesting, like, reason. why they should do that, yeah, and everyone thought the same, like, "Oh god, you found a reason just to make her half naked or have that eye candy and stuff." And in this game, like, they make her, like, an interesting character at first, because at first she was trying to kill Snake, but then, something happened, she caught on fire, and then I don't know how she got resurrected. Now she became her ally, and at one point, you do have the option to kill her or keep her as an ally. And if you keep her as an ally, you have, like, a whole arc with her, and it feels like they're trying super hard to make her a depth like, a character with depth or, a character that you could, like, care about and stuff. And it's like, "Oh, well, yeah, she's super cool, she doesn't talk." Um, Most of her energy comes from, like, photosynthesis, she doesn't have any, like, bodily organs or whatnot. And you could use her as, like, a weapon, the same way you could use a wolf, you could actually use fire to, like, shoot down certain enemies from a spot, basically. And then, uh, you basically have, like, different, uh, I wanna say suits, but skins. So you have the option to, like, turn her, like, gold or silver or whatever, and that basically gives her the ability for the enemies to kinda, like, be, like, put them off their game or intimidation and stuff. So, yeah, this is pretty cool how you could use them, but again, it's just like, um, they did sexualize her in that sense, but I mean, this is video games, bro, like but they also use her for, like, as a tool and stuff, but they use a lot of different things, I guess. I mean, they're making their kids better for themselves because the way I'm describing it just is. Yeah, uh, final thoughts. This game, fuck it, I'm kidding. I never played, Metal Gear. I did beat it. I played it, the story's okay. Um, the game itself is just, like, it's weird, it's a little, out there, but it's definitely stealth is definitely, like, your, is they make it, like, your best option to play this game. Like, this is your best method. If you try to, like, go all out on it, it's just, like, very it could get chaotic very quickly, but the mechanics of it is just very spot on. The story, I don't really get too much of it, this is the only one that I played, but other than that, this is a game that, you know, you could take your time to play it. You have time to, like, develop, like, different departments, this I'll just mention real quick, but you also have departments in your base, and you could pretty much upgrade and get the guns that you want, get the sources that you want, and expand on your base and stuff, and there's different characters that, uh, are in your base and join along your, uh yeah, because you only start off, like you're out in the ocean, and it's basically like a platform, but you could the more you expand, the bigger base you get and stuff. But depending on how much staff you get, and the staffing system is a whole completely different mechanic that's, fun, but also manageable, but that's the thing, it's about management. So that's also bringing, like, the action to it, and then and it's a simulation as well, so that's sort of a thing that a lot of people didn't expect. But I think it's not a downfall, like, to me, it doesn't feel like it's a downfall, but it's definitely something that's, like, interesting to the table. But hey, man, it applies it applies to the real world if you think about it. I wouldn't I wouldn't compare it to Oregon Trail, I'd compare it to something else, but not Oregon Trail. But yeah, other than that, this is not Oregon Trail, this is, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, starring Kiefer Sutherland. The guy from 24. 24, man. The guy that always tries to we talked about this in the 9/11 episode, but yeah. Hi. Hi, my name is Keith Sutherland. Yeah. We gotta save the turn, Mr. President. Right. He's not flying. He's killing with style. Yeah. It looks like half pipe. Right. What? Diverse as fuck. They're always stealthy. Yeah, but if it's a girl, it's always like a stealthy. The grapple. I just saw yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, can't take your eye from violence. Yeah. That's funny. That's crazy. That's like, I don't know, I feel like that PS2 era, they had a lot of, like, games, Japanese based that you play a war, you know? Or you play, like, something that's, like, very noble and stuff. I think this was, like yeah, and that's the thing, like, a lot of people didn't know about, like, these types of games, and it's like, "Oh, shit." Yeah. Yeah, if you did. You press yeah, it's like it's crazy. Tarantino movie. Yeah. Mm. I mean, it's video games. They over exaggerate, so that's the whole culture of like the Japanese, if when it comes to gore, you cut off someone's arm and then like it comes off like a sprinkler. Like of course that influenced like what became Kill Bill. Um that whole thing was by accident. And I'll tell you about it later, but it's an accident that happened on film and it
Oh,
became a thing. So I gotta do the research, but continue on talking about that. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get
yeah.
what she do. Oh, how's it looking? Sorry. I think we're all a little fucked up because of the ultra violence that was in our video games. Made made us. Yeah. So, ooh, you loopy? You sloopy? Sleepy. I thought that fucking sour would have done it for you. Just like, oh, pick 'em up, oh, nah. But yeah, final words on your thing. Oh, okay, well, yeah, sure, let's do that then. Yeah, yeah, the option to do that. We will have an episode on that, but yes. Mhm. Yeah, so it's a basic review of season 1, March. We will get that in March, definitely. Yeah, basically. Yeah, but I mean, a little preview on The Last of Us. Sneaking around is essential in this game. Yeah, yeah. Hitman. Wait, which one was this? Recently? Or oh, this is yeah, that's weird. I would expect I would expect from like the old ones because I played the old ones and it's the same concept about the new ones. You basically infiltrate, you kill the dude, uses uh those use everything that he can, and you have to like basically avoid like the high up that will yeah. You're MacGyvering, but also you're just disguising yourself, and if you're there long enough, you won't get murdered. You know? I got this beer. Prison Ma yeah. So, this is a hazy IPA. It looks like it's from I don't know, Prison Pals? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's run by prisoners, but yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, by paperback. What's the difference? He's like, "Get cooked." Yeah, definitely. Uh, I didn't know it was yeah, some of them, some of them. Yeah, yeah. Um, I didn't I didn't consider this one, but I was like, "Mm, is it?" But apparently Stray, winner of a couple awards, the one with the cat, is act yeah, it's a actual stealth game, and I actually played it, during the holiday season, and it's really good. It's a really good game. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're a cat, so cats are pretty sneaky. You have to avoid stuff. They're less sneaky and stuff. And, you have this whole environment, and it mixes in, a lot of cool things. Cats, people like cats. Neon lights, Japanese aesthetics, AI, and the whole world in an impending danger. Mhm, I guess. Wait, what? Roombas? The hell are Roombas? Oh, no, they're not Roombas. They're like actual animals. Like, if you, like, put a light on them, they'll just, like, explode and just they light up and shit and stuff. You basically have to escape, like, this whole underworld world and get back to your crew 'cause, you strayed away from your crew. You're gonna find a group of stray robots to help you. So, yeah, it's a cute, cool concept. And honestly, it was short, but I like it short because, uh, you want them to no. That was a bad one. Um, if you keep 'em short, they've been wanting more. So, I mean, that's how you like it cooks, obviously. Funny. And basically, I know they're gonna make, like, a second installment or possibly more games out of it. So, it's a short little indie game, and they're gonna continue making more, I know it, or something similar to that. And honestly, it's a really maybe, yeah. I would like that. I wish that they would, like, customize the cat so they could make it look like whatever cat you own. Just like, "Hey, you're on the screen," whatnot, and do the same things as a cat. Eh, it's a cute little game. Um, we're forgetting one that we both played. You're currently playing. Yes. Uh, yeah, that's mm, I felt Right. Besides the awareness that the game itself pretty good for what you experience. Little mini games. Yeah, exactly. It's just yeah. Yeah, you make up the poetry. Does. And you go and you're all, like, butt naked on a fucking bath, and you're just reflecting on things, and it gives you, like, options to, like, reflect on. Yeah. But, yeah. When last weekend, I played it at your house, and, I don't know what difficulty you had it out, but it felt a little too easy because I'm slowly playing it again, but it's, like, the hardest one, and every move is just, like, makes a difference. Uh, uh, is it the multiplayer one? Oh, yeah, 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 I did. I it's been a while since I played multiplayer, but yeah, definitely will get on that with you. It's worth it. Apparently a lot of people like Sniper Elite, those games, 4 or 5 and all that, so it's like whole storyline, it's moral compass. I don't know I don't know I don't know. It's a stealth game. The the rest of the Metal Gear, games, all stealth based and stuff. Very way different than the 5th one. Um, wait, was Siphon Filter a stealth game? Came out on really? I remember Siphon Filter on the PS1. That shit was like I think that's just like hardcore action on that. Aside from that, there was some games that I never even heard of. There was one called Serial Cleaner. That's a stealth game. Uh, a Plague Tale Requiem. That was on the PS4, and, apparently that has
I don't
no. You're thinking of, the name is escaping me, but I know which one you're talking about. Elite, Sniper Elite 5, Neo Horror. What? Hello Neighbor. Yeah, it's like, very story based, and the graphics are like yeah. That's just story based, and it's not free. I'm pretty sure it's not it already came out, like, a long I kinda do wanna play it too. I have the time. It's You could play on the PS4. I think you should. You should. I think you could if you look at it. Look for it. Yeah, it's very s yeah, it's very, like, story driven game from what I seen. 'Cause I only seen, like, a couple people play it, it's, like, very driven. But, yeah, I'll check it out when it comes on the Yeah, there you go. Mm, there's also besides, like, GoldenEye, there's also games like Perfect Dark, which is stealth, also a spy game. Uh, there's a couple other ones. Thief, Dishonor, Sly Cooper. Honestly, raccoons in general are very stealthy. If you ever seen a raccoon, they just, like, walk slowly and just, like, you know,
No,
stupid. It's a raccoon. Alright, sip on this. Sip on this. Yeah, buddy. Um, I would recommend a game. I recently, uh, played this game. I think it was right after Stray or I don't remember. Anyways, if you like Half-Life, it's kind of a stealthy game, but the first Half-Life got remade in the form of, like, Black Mesa. That's literally what you call it because Black Mesa is, like, the location, the majority location of, like, the first Half-Life, and they remade the whole game, and it's like the unofficial remake of that game. You could buy it on Steam, and honestly, they did such a good improvement on that, and everything is just so beautiful. Like, everything that's just, like, remade, it's just, like, it's so cool, especially at the last part where you go into, like, the off-world, terrestrial planet of all the shit that's coming into your world. Like, that shit was, like, fucking amazing, but there's some things that are just, like, a hassle. But either way, if we're a big fan of, like, first person shooters or, adventure or anything or, Half-Life in general, just definitely check that one out because that shit was fucking cool as fuck. Yeah, it's been a good one. This is a really interesting video game episode. Again, want to reach us out, we're at Golden Craft Cast, and IG, Golden Craft Run at gmail.com. We're at every possible fucking platform we're at podcasting. And you know, give us a 5-star rating, give us a review. Anything good. Have anything good to say, now is the time to say it. Good shit. All right, see you on the next one. Peace out.